Welcome back to our channel, where we delve into important and sometimes challenging topics. Today, we are going to discuss a type of abuse that is often overlooked and misunderstood: narcissistic abuse. This form of abuse can be incredibly damaging and destructive, but it can be difficult to explain to those who have never experienced it themselves. So, how do you describe narcissistic abuse to others? Let's find out. Definition of narcissistic abuse. First and foremost, it is crucial to understand what narcissistic abuse actually is. Narcissistic abuse is a form of emotional and psychological manipulation used by individuals with narcissistic personality disorder. These abusers often exhibit a sense of entitlement, a lack of empathy, and a grandiose sense of self-importance. They use manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional blackmail to control and dominate their victims. Effects of narcissistic abuse. The effects of narcissistic abuse can be profound and long-lasting. Victims of narcissistic abuse often experience feelings of confusion, self-doubt, and worthlessness. They may struggle with their sense of self and their ability to trust others. The constant manipulation and gaslighting can erode their self-esteem and leave them feeling powerless and isolated. How to describe narcissistic abuse. Describing narcissistic abuse to others can be a challenging task, as it is a complex and subtle form of abuse. One approach is to explain the tactics used by narcissistic abusers, such as gaslighting and manipulation. You can give examples of how the abuser undermines their victim's reality and makes them doubt their own perceptions. Another way to describe narcissistic abuse is to share the emotional impact it has on the victim. Talk about the feelings of confusion, self-doubt, and worthlessness that often accompany this type of abuse. Share your own experience if you feel comfortable doing so, to help others understand the depth of the pain and trauma caused by narcissistic abuse. Common signs of narcissistic abuse. There are several common signs of narcissistic abuse that you can point out to others. These may include the abuser's constant need for admiration and attention, their lack of empathy and disregard for others' feelings, and their tendency to manipulate and control their victims. You can also discuss the cycle of abuse that often occurs in narcissistic relationships, where the abuser alternates between love bombing and devaluation. It is important to emphasize that narcissistic abuse is not always physical and may not leave visible scars, but the emotional and psychological damage it causes can be just as devastating. By highlighting these signs and patterns, you can help others recognize and understand narcissistic abuse when they see it. Supporting victims of narcissistic abuse. If you know someone who is a victim of narcissistic abuse, it is crucial to offer them support and validation. Listen to their experiences without judgment, and remind them that they are not alone. Encourage them to seek help from a therapist or support group that specializes in narcissistic abuse. It is also important to educate yourself about narcissistic abuse and its effects so that you can better understand and support the victim. By being informed and empathetic, you can help empower the victim to break free from the cycle of abuse and begin their journey to healing. In conclusion, describing narcissistic abuse to others can be a challenging but important task. By explaining the tactics used by narcissistic abusers, sharing the emotional impact of the abuse, and highlighting common signs and patterns, you can help others understand and recognize this destructive form of abuse. Remember to offer support and validation to victims of narcissistic abuse, and continue to educate yourself and others about this important issue. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on our channel. Stay safe and take care.